So suppose f of x is a function with a maximum value at f of 18 equals minus 16, and g of x is a function with a minimum value at g of 9 equals minus 6. The distance between the max and the minimum has a length b. If h of x has an inflection point that is also a length b from the minimum of g of x, which of the following represents that point? Any idea where to start here? Any kind of first guesses?
Well, do you use like distance equals rate times time since it's a distance, or?
Yeah, we could definitely calculate the distance between these 2 points here. So a rough sketch, if we needed it, which we don't, but it'll help with this problem. At f of 18 minus 16, so this is the point 18 comma minus 16. It says there's some sort of a minimum, and then at 9 minus 6, there's some sort of a maximum here. But they're just saying the distance between these 2 points is b. But we can actually find that distance. So do you remember the distance formula?
No, I don't remember that. But
Right,
yes,
so definitely want to have this down. I mean, it is kind of the Pythagorean theorem. Give that a shot here and give me the distance between the 2 points, please.
all right. So um,
Which one did you make y2? Minus 16 or minus 6?
minus 16. So
Okay,
it's
so good.
square root of 181, which is
It's not a known value. It's just ends up being the square root of 181.
you just leave it like that. Okay.
You just leave it like that. Okay, so this one is yeah. So this gives you negative 10 squared, which is 9 squared. So like you said, you get 100 plus 81. Your distance is the square root of 181. Okay, but that is not the answer, but that's what it's looking for. So the question here, it says, and I don't think you would ever get anything this lengthy in there, but you do need to know the distance formula for sure. Which of the following is also a distance b from that point? So which point is it referring to? The min or the max?
The
min. The min. So this one over here. Okay. So this is where I gotta get a little creative here to describe this problem. Do you see that the one point is like 9 away and the other is 10 away?
Yes.
So you kind of have to think in those terms: 9 away and 10 away. So 18, is there another point that's kind of 9 away and 10 away?
Well, you could like add 9 to 18, which would be what?
So we've got a bunch of points over here, but the problem is we don't want to just arbitrarily sort of guess which one it is. So like minus 4, this is the x value. It's 14 away, and then 10 is really far away from minus 16.
So it has to be 9 away from 18, is what you're saying?
Well, it gives us an idea of like kind of where to start. It can't be too much of one or another. Because you could just try each of these points. Like this is the ordered pair: minus 4 comma 10, 10 comma 9, 10 comma minus 15, and minus 1 comma minus 15.
Okay.
So this is just kind of a guide here. The real solution is to try each of these values, but that would obviously take too long in a real test. So,
So B, is that the closest?
well, they're the closest from 0, but we want them from this number here, 18 and minus 16.
Well, isn't that the closest to like 9 and 10 away?
So it's like 7 and 8
Right.
away, and that's probably not enough because
Okay.
you're squaring them. So good, that's a good guess, a good starting point. I think let me actually.
Wait, sorry, which ones are you squaring?
We're using this circle point over here on the right, so it would be
Right.
like 10 minus 18 squared. So that's 8 away. 9 minus 16. That's way more than. It's not. It's minus 17 away.
Is there a way that you can do this with just like plugging the values in?
You can. It's just slow. So I'm trying to get you to pick one that's a little bit more. I don't know, more. Not sure the right word is, like a better guess than just like we'll just guess whichever one. So let me pull up the solution here just so we can stop talking about kind of going around in circles here on this. I want to give you the correct value so you can see this. So it says here to try. I want you to try the last one. Okay, so the last one.
The last one doesn't make sense because how is negative 16 and negative 15 10 away?
Well, we're gonna see something here when you do this. So like 18 minus a minus 1 squared plus minus 15 minus a minus 16 squared.
Right, okay. Wait, is that all squared though? I mean, is that all under the square root?
Yeah. Minus 1 minus. No. We're doing. I'm sorry. I chose the wrong point. I'm so sorry. I really messed this up. We're using this point. Okay. And that's why this wasn't working. I'm so sorry. This will make a lot more sense now. So compared to minus 1 and minus 15, do you see that 9 is 10 away from 1 and minus 6 is 9 away from 15, minus 15?
Yeah.
And that's how you get this.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That makes more sense.
All right, so we're gonna do another one like this, and this is really critical how we're doing it this way, where we're not actually doing the calculation. We're doing kind of what I call the indirect method, or the shortcut, because it takes too long to calculate the distance formula. So let's look at this question. It comes from a different exam, but it's the same idea here. You definitely need to calculate the distance between these 2 points.
Okay. I'll do that. Square root of 61.
Let me check the solution here before I say yes or no. Yeah, so the square root of 61. So notice that 1 is 6 away and 1 is 5 away. And it doesn't really matter which one it is because you have to get the other. So which one are we comparing to? The minimum value. So we're looking at this point right here, 8, comma 7.
Okay.
So which of these four has the same characteristics where one is 6 away and one is 5 away?
So 8.
So this is the ordered pair: 3, comma 13, minus 4, comma 1, 7, comma 4, and minus 4, comma minus 7.
So 6 away from 8, right?
Well, it could be either. It could be 6 away from 7 or 5 away from 8.
Okay. So then it would be A.
It is A.
Okay.
Good. All right. Let's do one more, and then we're going to do we'll do the other fork of this, which is a little bit more difficult. So you don't actually need the distance formula to do this problem. You just have to know, you have to understand that if there's a point like here, and we find that something is 4 away and 2 away, the other point just could be like up here, 2 away, 4 away, 2 away, 4 away. There's a lot of possibilities for where it could be, as long as it has those characteristics of being there, like this triangle and this triangle. They're all the same from that point. And that's what I'm trying to explain. I don't know how I'm doing, but that is the idea of this. Okay. It does rely on the distance formula, but it's a shortcut to the distance formula. So it's maybe that'll help. See if you can work through this without. How are you doing on this one?
So I'm almost there. 22. So 7 and 6. Why do you need to do the distance formula again?
Well, the question is essentially asking which point is also the same distance away from one of these. It's like I'm saying here's a point A and here's point B, and there's some distance E apart, and then I'm picking one of them. Whether in this case I'm picking point B, and I'm asking which of these other points is also a distance E away.
Right. So do you use the 4 and the 7, not the 7 and the.
So use the 4 and 7 because that's how far apart these are. And then you decide which of these 2 points is it referring to. It says the maximum, so it's referring to this one, -1, -9. and then you looked at each of these ordered pairs.
Right, okay.
And then one of these will be the correct 4 and 7 apart.
So 7 from...
I think if I, nope, I grabbed the wrong point again. Okay, sorry, it's this one.
How is it? I thought that was the maximum point.
Oh, it is. It is. I'm sorry. Boy, this 2 column makes me look at things very, very oddly.
So it would be system B, no. D. Yeah, D.
D. Okay. I realize now that we could do the other fork on this question, and I think it will help to illustrate the principle here, because it asks a not question. I'll show you what I mean when I get that question up. Thanks for being patient here. Let me getting this snipped in. Okay. So here's the other fork, and this I'm going to work through this one with you so you can see the emphasis here. It's the same set of prompt, but it says, which of the following does not represent one of those points? So whenever you see a not, that means that there are 3 true and 1 false, and you're looking for the one that's false. So when I look at 6 and -2, those are 8 apart. And when I look at 8 and 1, those are 7 apart.
Right.
You follow that? And then we got to, which one is referring to? In this, it's referring to the maximum. So that's this second point here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Boy, I was misreading. Okay. -2, 1. So, for example here, let's look at this first point, 5, -7. Do you see how these two are 7 apart?
Mm-hmm.
And this is 1 apart?
Yeah.
That means it can't be that one.
So for this one, you don't need to do the distance formula at all?
No, and I'm showing you the shortcut. I mean, the correct sort of like proof way is to do that, but that's not what you want to do if you're trying to get a good grade on this test, because you need time.
But I guess even for the first type of question, you don't really need to do it either, right?
So there's another version of this question, just ask for the distance between the 2 points.
Okay.
The questions I write that I think are valuable to you as a student are more than one layer. You know, you use the distance formula, or there's a shortcut, a trick, if you will. So let's look at this point again, -2, 1. How about -10, -6? Well, this point is 8 apart, and this is 1 apart. I'm sorry, 7 to 7 apart. So that's also okay. Meaning it's also true. Maybe I should put true next to it. Okay. And the whole point of this is this difference between them. We end up squaring that and we square that. So it doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. It's just you have to get those 2 numbers inside the square root. All right. How about this -9 and 9? These are 7 apart.
Yeah, and then 8 apart.
And those are 8 apart. So therefore it must be the last one. Should we do it, or should we, since we got true, can we just go on and say we believe that it's right?
Probably just believe that it's right.
I want you to say before you go to the exam, you don't have to do that, because that saves you time.
Mm-hmm. So don't do it, right?
I would not recommend doing that. Okay. And you know, you want that verification, but it's like wrong, right, and you just move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so give this one a try on your own and see if you can come up with the correct answer for me. Then we'll move on to a new question.
think it's... Oh, wait. Hold on. So you're finding the one that doesn't work, right?
That's right, because it says not here.
Okay. I think it's A. Not exactly sure.
Well, let's look at it. How far apart are 4 and 2?
2.
Okay, and how far apart are -5 and 4?
9, yeah.
So those are the ones, those don't work. Now let's look at one that does work, just to remind you again. 12 and -2. How far are 4 and 12 apart?
Those were 8 and then 3.
3.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on to a new question in this practice exam. We've done that one a few times. I don't think we've done this one before. This rectangular riddle. Maybe we have. I'm sorry if we've done it. I mean, I've only got so many questions.
Yeah.
These take a while to make, and then they take a while. They don't take as long to go through as they do to make.
I don't think we've done this one yet.
Okay. The city of Baltimore is building a new rectangular park with an area of 483 feet squared and a perimeter of 88 feet. A road with a sidewalk runs along one of the short sides of the park. So if it's rectangular, we believe, okay, there's a road, there's a park, and that's the short side. And the other 3 sides are bordered by water. So there's some sort of a lake here. Okay. If city code does not require a fence on the side of the park bordering the road, but does require a fence on the side that borders the water, so that means there's fencing here, fencing here, fencing here. Okay. How many feet of fence must be built in order to be in compliance with the code? So a lot of this is necessary, but it's a very long-winded way of saying, give me the 3 sides of the rectangle.
Okay.
Because there's no fencing here along the road for whatever reason. So we're going to go X, Y, and X. What is the area of a rectangle? What's its formula?
Base times height.
So X times Y. What's the perimeter of a rectangle?
X plus X plus Y plus Y.
That's right. So 2X plus 2Y. Okay. The difference here is that you might think, well, what about this since it's not included? We're asking, the perimeter refers to the rectangle. The fencing refers to something different. So this 88 here is the perimeter.
Okay.
Okay. And we're trying to figure out how much fencing to use. Now, we do know the area. The area is 483. Okay. So we have 2 equations and 2 unknowns. Can we solve this?
Yeah, I think
yes.
So.
Okay. Now, whether you know how, that's a different question. But you have to be, if you have the same number of equations as unknowns, you have to say, okay, I can solve this. There's a path to solving it. This one on the right, you can divide everything by 2. So you get 44 equals X plus Y. Okay. And then you could solve this, for example, for Y. Y equals 44 minus X. And then whenever you have nonlinear equations, this is nonlinear, but this is linear. Whenever you have one nonlinear and one linear, you always use substitution. You've done problems where it's like, here's a circle, here's a line, and you always use substitution for those. Or here's a parabola, here's a line. You always use substitution. So we're going to substitute this in for Y.
Okay.
483 equals x times 44 minus x. Okay, so this ends up being 44x minus x squared equals 483. And then because it's a quadratic, you want to get everything on one side of the equation. So I'm going to move everything to the left because I want positive x squared. So it's x squared minus 44x plus 483 equals 0. So this is where it gets tough. Do you have a calculator handy?
Yeah.
Okay, so this can be done by hand. It's hard, but you can do it by hand, although we're not going to. You can graph this. You can use quadratic formula. Which appeals to you here?
Probably quadratic formula. I just need to remember it.
Okay, so let's remember it here. X equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Yeah.
Okay, so your a here is 1, your b is minus 44, and your c is 483. So minus a minus 44 plus or minus the square root of minus 44 squared minus 4 times 1 times 483 all over 2 times 1.
Okay, so plug that into the calculator.
Yep. I'll give you the solution, one of the solutions here in a moment. It's question 5. Okay, so you end up getting all right, so you're going to get, your two answers should be 21 and 23.
I got 45. Negative 44 plus minus.
This ends up being positive over here, and then you want to make sure you divide by 2. It seems like you're about to get 46 or.
Let me try. Let me do it again. It's 44 plus square root of negative 44 squared minus 4 times 3 over 2. Still got 45. Let me try the negative one.
This one in front ends up becoming positive 44?
Yeah, I put positive.
Okay. Well.
Let's see, maybe. And I'm using the parentheses and everything. Like, is the the 2 is not included in the what's it called, square root, right?
No, the 2 is down below.
Yeah, so, and then I got 43. I got 45 and 43.
Okay. I can't help with that because I don't have access to your screen. But let me show you this line right here. Can you on your calculator verify that 21 times 23 is 483?
Yeah.
Okay, so this factors because negative 21 and negative 23 add up to negative 44.
I don't know what I did wrong then.
Well, we're working with big numbers, so it could be something very small. I mean, you're really close because when you divide those by 2, if you just add 1 and divide by 2, it ends up working out really nicely. Because what this should be is it's 44 plus. I'm sorry, it should be 44 minus 2 over 2, and then 44 plus 2 over 2. Like this whole thing becomes square root of 4.
Oh, maybe it's that I don't know. Okay, it's fine.
Okay. Well, we'll do this again. We'll do at least one more of these. So now you might say, well, how do I choose between those? Well, we said x is 21 or 23, so we can actually work it either way. So let's say x is 21. What do we know about y? We know that y is 44 minus x. So what is y?
Okay.
23.
I got it. I missed one parenthesis.
Okay. It makes all the difference in the world. Did you follow this what I was talking about up here?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because it will potentially change the answer. So the amount of fencing we need is 21 plus 21 plus 23. So that's 65. Now let's say you're like, I don't know, let's make it 23. So 23 and 23. Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is now 21.
Wait, but the perimeter for this specific problem wouldn't be 2x plus 2y, right? Because there's not two y's.
Well, that's what I mentioned earlier. Like the perimeter of the rectangle is different than what the actual perimeter with the fencing is.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of these minor distinctions that these problems make. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so now, let me jump in here because this is very important because you have a choice here. You have to decide. Okay, well, so is the perimeter 23 plus 23 plus 21 because you get 67 and they're both there. Okay, that seems bad, right?
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be the short side?
Y.
It's y. So if y is 21 and then this is 23, does that work? That works. This is good.
Yeah, it's 67.
But the other one is not. 23 and 23 does not work. So you have to be very careful when you even if you get the right answer, still might be there because you've missed a little piece in that. All right. So we're going to look at another problem here, and I've done this problem before with many students, and the real challenge is the factoring or the quadratic formula. So what I don't want to do is get us hung up on that. What I want you to do is I want you to set up the quadratic, and I'll give you the answer to it, and then we'll move through the rest of the problem here together. So let's look at another version of this question. It's the same scenario here. So go ahead and set up the So did you get up to sort of this step here?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So I got x squared, minus 24x minus 119, or is it plus?
Yeah, so this one's a little bit better, but you might be thinking, it's like, how do you get 119? And these were designed this way to be like, obscure, not nice numbers. I don't know what you'll see on the test, but here, the issue is getting the right here. So it ends up being, if you factor this, you get x minus 17 and x minus 7.
But you can do it with the quadratic formula too.
Yeah, if you want to try that again here, that would be a good place to do it. So a equals 1, b equals minus 24, c equals 119. X equals opposite of b, so it ends up being 24 plus or minus the square root of negative 24 squared minus 4 times 1 times 119.
Wait, why is it positive 24 in this front?
Because it's negative b.
Oh, okay.
That
Plus square root. Negative 24. Yeah, I got 17.
Great.
Positive one. So.
Great. So you need both of them though, because that's maybe one of the disadvantages of doing quadratic formulas. You do have to get both. So you make sure your formula right. Now let's go back to the picture. Okay. Let's say x is 7. Y is 24 minus 7. So y would be 17 and x would be 7.
What does the short side be?
Exactly. So we got this problem again, but I just want to illustrate this. So you got 7 plus 7 plus 17. That answer isn't here. So that's good. That means you did something wrong. But this is 17, and this is 7.
Okay.
Then you get 17 plus 17 plus 7, which is 41 feet. Let's do the other fork of this, because it asks I think for just the short or the long side. I don't remember which one, but it'll be good to kind of just see another version of this question. This is question. Always get kind of all turned around here. This is 9. Okay, question 9. Okay, yeah, so this is a similar question. Let me find one that has a little more workable numbers before I snip this in. I think this one does. Okay, so this is a different question. It says the city of New York is building a new rectangular park with a perimeter of 48 and an area of 128 feet squared. Short road with a sidewalk runs along one of the sides of the park, one of the short sides of the park. So that's kind of the same here. And the other 3 sides are bordered by water again. So if city code requires a safety fence to be built along the 2 short sides and one of its long sides, that's the same. How many feet of the park's perimeter will not require a fence? So it's asking for this length here.
Okay.
So for once,
do you find the whole thing and then like subtract, or?
Yeah, so here's what we've been making a mistake of, and I didn't want to mention it to that. We should call this the short side, because we're used to solving for x. Okay. And this will be the long side. So my picture, what if and this is where the picture becomes really important. Let's say the road was like that. Now it's a little bit easier. This is y, and this is x. So your picture can make a huge difference about which one you end up using. Mm-hmm. Okay, so either one is reasonable. So the area here is xy, and that's 48 equals xy. And then I'm sorry, I got the numbers backed up again. 128 is the area. And the perimeter, which is 2x plus 2y, perimeter is 48 equals 2x plus 2y. So 24 equals x plus y.
So you set it up the exact same way?
Yep, the exact same way, yeah.
Okay.
So you end up getting y equals 24 minus x, 128 equals x times 24 minus x. You end up getting 128 equals 24x minus x squared. X squared minus 24x equal plus 128 equals 0.
And then quadratic formula,
or maybe factoring, because 128 is kind of it's a better number to work with. 1 and 128, 2 and 64, 4 and 32, and then 6 and 18. I think that's maybe the one you want. No, 8 and 18. No, that's not right. 6 doesn't work, but I think 8 does. 8 and
16.
And 4, 16. Yes, 8 and 16 work.
Okay. So then 8 is the x.
Yep.
And then so. Wait, what?
This looks like it might have a mistake in it. Look at the solution here. Will not require a fence. So yeah, this one unfortunately has a mistake in it.
In ours or in the solution?
In the solution. The way I'm reading this isn't right, because this is correct that we just did, but
well, maybe maybe it was like use the 16.
Yeah, but okay, let's do that. So let's say x is 16. Well, the problem is that then y is 24 minus x.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And then it's 8, and then it's not a short side.
Right, exactly.
So we've uncovered an error in my own stuff. All right, let's. You have your calculator out? Is that
yeah.
Okay? Let's do a couple of more calculator-based questions.
Okay.
And we'll see how many of these we can get through. This is the cost of college. Okay, Kelly has organized the cost of attending her top 2 school choices in the table above. Her wealthy aunt has set aside a $28,500 per year scholarship to use for both tuition and room and board, so she can use it for either of these. She's planning to attend school A for 3 years and school B for 1 year. How much additional money will she need to attend both schools when taking into account this scholarship? Okay. So the scholarship is good per year. That's important. It's not like a one-time thing. Some scholarships are one time, some are per year, per semester, and so on.
So do you add like 20, you add like schools A up, multiply it by 3, and then subtract by the 20 times 3?
So yeah, so we know the cost of school A is $27,600 plus $27,000 for 1 year, but she's going for
3
years.
And then you multiply the 28,500 by 3.
Yeah, because you're getting that. And then school B, you're getting the tuition for $5,900 and $5,500, and you're subtracting. You're subtracting 28,500 from that.
28. Wait, how does that? That becomes a negative number, though.
Which one? The B?
Yeah, B.
So the way scholarships work, and this is one of the problems I guess I have with this question, is sometimes they actually give you the money even if you don't need it, and some are, can only be used for school.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes some programs just give you the money and they're like, use, if there's any left over, you can pocket it. So it is reasonable. The negative means it just goes into your pocket. But you'll see up here, she doesn't have enough to cover the cost for the first 3 years. That's maybe why she went to school B.
So she needs 5,000. Wait, I don't. So I did like that 3. Wait, oh, okay. Wait, so what do you do from, I don't, you subtract it?
Did you figure out how much this A is?
Yeah, so that was 5,400. Does that sound right?
No, that's not.
So you multiply, so I added, wait.
You add up how much it costs to go to school A for 1 year, 27,600 plus 27,000. You multiply that by 3, and then you subtract 28,500, but for each year.
I left out a 0.
Yeah, that'll do it. This is definitely a good question. You would see where there wouldn't be multiple choice because you can make some easy mistakes with zeros.
500. So then it would be 16,300 minus 8. Okay, wait, is it 78,300? For the
maybe
for A?
Yeah, maybe. And then the next one here will
that is 5,900. Wait, I did that one. I think that was the -1.
Yes.
And I got -17,100.
Okay, so when you add these two numbers together, you should get answer, I think B here.
60, yeah.
Okay, let's do one more of these, but this one I want you to do without the multiple choice answers.
Okay.
So check your calculations on this. That'll probably be it for today.
Per year, okay. 20,000. I got whoa, that's 79,000.
For your final answer?
Yeah, I feel like that's a big number.
Okay, so the it's too, what you got is too large for this question. So it's 3 years for school A. So school A costs.
I got 108,300.
Okay, so you multiply this number times 3, but then you're going to subtract 21,800.
Subtracting, I got 86,500.
When you subtract this.
Oh.
Scholarship's good every year.
3 years.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 108. Sorry, my brain is just fried.
It's good to keep working through these and you know.
So it's 21,800 times 3. Okay, so then that minus or plus 700 is it 35,400?
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, is that more reasonable?
You are correct.
Okay.
Great. All right. I'll send you the notes and the screen recording out here shortly. And thanks again for scheduling. If you ever schedule and you need to reschedule, you can do that in the booking link. I don't know if you needed that
Okay.
I saw you schedule a couple times yesterday, but that's always available if you do it more than 24 hours in advance.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right, see you next time. Bye now.